Hello everyone. Before we start today, I want to say I have been thinking a lot and experimenting with this channel as to what's going to work best with content in publishing days. I decided that I'm going to be publishing once a week on Friday, so you're not going to see any more Wednesday and Fridays, or just Fridays. And it's going to be once a week. And in regards to content, I'm still experimenting. If you have any questions as to hey, do you think you'll be doing this? Put it down below. If you have any suggestions, please, all suggestions are welcome. I don't promise that I'm going to make everything, but any suggestions are totally welcome. And today I want to share tips on how to survive grad school. I am in my third year of grad school. I have a 96 hours degree, so it's very long. And I'm in my third year, and I've learned quite a lot, not only in my field, but I've learned on things to do, little things that I could do or you could do to survive grad school. Before I made this video, I asked a lot of friends and I asked my professors, hey, what are good tips for future students or even current students that are starting or are in the middle of it and don't know how to deal with this? What do you suggest they could do to survive grad school? Grad school is very, very busy. It comes with a social life, and it's very difficult. You have to know exactly what to do. So here are things that I learned. First, coffee is vital. I mean, I survived the military without coffee. Don't think I will survive grad school without it. But again, I might be biased because I love coffee. Well, you decide for yourself what is best, but coffee is key. Get a mentor and become a mentor. When I came to this grad school, I'm in seminary, and I came because a friend of mine kind of convinced me and got me hooked in this school, but I knew I was called to ministry anyway, so she became my mentor. She was in her last year, and she became my mentor, and she helped me a lot with, hey, this is what I did for this class, or this is what you can expect. And I asked her a lot of questions. I think I drove her crazy several times because I asked a lot of questions. But it was really helpful for me. And although I haven't become a mentor to one person, I have been helping a lot of other students. Like every time my program has a new student, I help them say, oh yeah, you could do this class is going to be like this. Like I help them. I let them borrow my books, at least because I know and I trust that they will return them because I want to keep all my books. So even if you want to keep all your books, you can still let younger, new students to borrow them if you trust that they will return them, and that will help them save money because you do get to buy a lot of books. And I say you get to buy because every book you buy in grad school, it's helpful one way or the other. You're not going to like every book, but you're going to want to keep a lot of them. And if the other student wants to do the same and build their own library, it's perfect. But some are like, you know what, I just want to just pass my class and whatever, so just help me with that. And then you could just let them borrow the book and then they'll return it and you help each other, and they might ask you questions, and that way you help someone else and you actually put your knowledge into practice. That is the key of becoming a mentor. You get to put your knowledge into practice. Make friends with people from other programs. Okay, so you're definitely going to make friends with people for your program, and that's going to be part of your social life. You're going to make friends at church, and that's going to be part of your social life. But your big bulk of social life will be with people that are in other programs. Now, there's another thing that they can help with, and is you could share what you're learning with them, and they can respond and give you a different perspective. Perspectives are great. I mean, we live in a diverse world, and we need to know how to work in a diverse world. So let's say you're sharing with someone what you learned in your lecture today, and they're like, interesting, I never saw anything like that. And even though I'm not in that program, this is what I always thought about it. Great conversation. You get to put your knowledge into practice. You get a new perspective. You get questions that you could answer. And now you learn how to respond when people come and say something about your field that it's a misconception. You get to correct it, or you get to, again, just practice your knowledge, which is key. Everything is practice, practice, practice. But in classroom, we get a lot of theory. Now, if you have good conversations, you get to put in practice your knowledge. Whew. 4, ask your family and friends for gift cards for your birthday and Christmas, whatever, for books and places to eat. Here's why. You're going to buy a lot of books, whether it is in Barnes and Nobles, whether it is on Amazon or any other, let's say your school has their own bookstore, and they sell gift cards. Well, ask your family and your friends out for your birthday, for Christmas, or any other event to get you gift cards from there, because that way you save your own money. Because yes, you can buy your books with like your scholarship or your student loans, but you can save money. You know, you're gonna need the money for some other things. So ask for gift cards. I think that was a good that's a good suggestion. It was a friend of mine from my program, and I asked a lot of questions and I got a lot of tips from a lot of people. Not everything made it, but these are like the ones that I was like, yeah, that's definitely a good tip. This one I learned because I'm very stubborn, so it took me 2 years to learn. I learned it at the end of my 2nd year, and it's that self-care is key. And you need to have a self-care day every week. Yes, every week. Because you're going to get exhausted. Mentally, you're going to get exhausted. Physically, remember that not only you have class, you have homework, you have a social life, you have a family. Family is exhausting. It takes a lot of time. If you're in church and you're involved in ministry, that also is exhausting and takes a lot of time. You need to take care of yourself. You need a day where you just disconnect from homework, preferably a day that you don't have class. And if you have something to do that day, it should have been done, so no worries. You disconnect from the world and you just take care of yourself. I personally like to take a good bubble bath and go for sushi or for a good drive. I go to the park and walk. Anything that you enjoy yourself, do it. It is imperative that everybody has a rest day, because if not, you're going to get worn out and that's not going to be helpful for you. Use colorful pens and highlighters. Okay, so this one is really good because whether you have legends like this color means this color means that, or you have it in your mind, it's helpful because then you're going to see, let's say you use red for, the professor said this is going to come in the exam. Well, you write that in red. Or, hey, I thought this was interesting. You write that in blue. Or, I have questions about this and I want to do more research. I write that in green. Whatever the case may be for you, it is really helpful to have pens of different colors and highlighters. Whether you're highlighting a book or you're highlighting your own notebook, it is really helpful. Ask a lot of questions and ask yourself how you can apply what you learn. I'm not a person that asks a lot of questions, but I am always grateful when my fellow classmates ask a lot of questions. Mainly, I don't know how to build a question. Like, sometimes it's like I'm not sure how to put the words in my doubt and what I have doubts about. But fortunately, I take classes with a lot of smart people that know how to build a question and get clarification, and I always take advantage of that. So when the professor says, well, you can go, and then if you have questions, stick around, I always stick around. So even if you don't have questions, stick around, because someone may ask a question that you may not even realize that you have until they ask, and they're like, huh, I do wonder about that, and you can get something from it. So always ask questions or wait for other students to ask questions. You may get clarification from that. And ask yourself, how can I apply what I learned? Not only, like I said before, you could share with some friends, hey, this is what I learned, this is what my lecture was about, what do you think, or whatever. But ask yourself, okay, how can I apply what I learned today in my field, or how can I apply what I learned today in my life? Can I tell someone about, let's say you study history, for example. I have a lot of friends from the history program because I went on a trip with them. You could tell someone, hey, I heard you're from Puerto Rico. I'm from Puerto Rico. I learned today that Puerto Rico is this, and that. Is that true? Cool. See, this person is applying their knowledge with someone. So ask yourself how you can apply your knowledge. In regards to trips, this is a key one. Take advantage of the trips that your school offers. You're never going to find a trip to Europe or the Caribbean or the Middle East or to other places as cheap as your school offers. And it may not sound cheap, but it's still cheaper than traveling on your own. You get a tour guide, you get a lot of other perks like hotels and food, and you get to learn. Take advantage of these trips that your school offers. Like, it is seriously the best. And you get to travel with people from your program, you get to know new people. I traveled twice with my school and it's been the best. And I've traveled before many places, but the best experiences have absolutely been traveling with my school. So take advantage of the trips your school offers. Book reviews. Okay, so here's a trick that I learned from the director of my program, actually, on how to do book reviews. Book reviews are a big thing in grad school because, you know, they're teaching you how to write scholarly and how to do scholarly, well, I forgot the word. Anyways, you're going to open the book and you're going to go to the contents page. You're going to study the contents page. You're going to study like the title of each chapter, and you're going to think, okay, well, in regards to the title of the book and what I know the book is about, how does this relate? Then you're going to read the introduction, all of it. You're going to read all the introduction. You're going to read the first and second page of the first chapter. Then you're going to go to the chapter in the middle. You're going to read the first and second page. You're going to go to the last chapter. You're going to read the first and second page and the conclusion. That's all you need for a book review. Now, if you do think that it's a book that you may be interested in reading in the future, leave it aside in a list. Do make a list of books that you want to read once you graduate. There is a bunch of books that are great and that you're going to get for your career field, and you might want to read them fully, but at the moment you're not going to have the time because, let's face it, you have a lot of homework, you have life and all these things going on. So leave them aside, use this trick, finish your assignment. If you do it well, you're going to finish a legitimately good assignment, even if you just don't read it all. And put it aside and then read it in the future. But yeah, time management, not everything is a priority. That's another thing you got to learn with grad school. Professors are going to tell you everything is a priority, this is a priority, this is a priority, and they're not wrong, but you make your own priorities because some people have families, some people have work. I take classes with a lot of military people, and sometimes their priority is actually their service. And you know, it's in your life. What is a priority? You got to learn how to make priorities. And you also got to learn how to cook with whatever you have at hand. Well, this is a funny story. My first year, my mentor was actually my roommate as well. And one day we had a lot of assignments that were coming to be due, but we wanted to do something that weekend. So we were like spending every minute that we had doing homework, getting it all knocked out. Well, we improvised food and we come up with a plate that had shredded chicken in the bottom, sweet potato fries, avocado, pickles, and slices of cheese. Oh, and some ranch on top. It was actually very delicious, you know. Well, it was everything we had at hand. That was fast and easy. It didn't require a lot of prep. So learn how to cook with whatever you have, and don't be disgusted. Don't be like, oh my gosh, this sounds disgusting. It might be delicious. That was actually very yummy. Either it was really, really yummy, or we were really, really hungry, or probably both. But learn to cook with whatever you have at hand. It's definitely going to save you a lot of time. So learn to cook with whatever you have at hand. Now, I saved the best for last. Pray. Yes, pray. This goes for everybody, whether you're in seminary or in another program, whether you're a Christian or a non-Christian. Pray. Read the Bible and spend time with God. Build up your relationship with the Lord. Not only because it's going to help you through grad school, because it's really complicated, but because it's very important for life. I mean, your relationship with the Lord is what's going to help you in everything and save you, of course. So if you're in seminary, don't read the Bible just because it's another thing to do. Or if you think, hey, well, I'm in seminary, so I read the Bible anyway. So that's check. No, there's no checklist. honestly. Salvation is not something that you can earn. Salvation is free. So don't read the Bible just because you want to be a good Christian. Read the Bible because you want to have a relationship with God, which is very, very important. So pray, read the Bible, spend time in your devotional life, spend time with the Lord, spend time in silence and in solitude, which are spiritual disciplines. I mean, Jesus did that himself. He spent a lot of time by himself, praying with, talking to the Father and praying. So it is vital that you pray and read the Bible. It is vital for to survive grad school. It's also good for your soul. It's good for your mind. So not only do it in your rest day because it's good for your soul and your mind. Do it every day. If you take a little bit, of time and you pray every day, and you read scripture every day, and you build your relationship with the Lord every day, it's going to help you to become a whole person, like spiritually, mentally, even physically. Honestly, I mean, scripture says that what serves the man to have a good physical form. Like what is the point of exercising, basically, if the person's soul is going to perish. So build your relationship with the Lord and pray, and pray. I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you want to know about other things, feel free to leave them down below and I'll be happy to answer. Maybe eventually I'll make another video with more things that come up as I learn. I still have another year to go in grad school. So these are the main things that I learned on how to survive grad school. So I hope you have a great day.